That's a good question, actually. So, Dan, what is discomfort?
Well, I mean, you can look at it a couple of ways, but discomfort might be, you just kind of feeling uncomfortable in a position, maybe not stable or whatever, or maybe feeling a little bit of pain during, I guess, a certain
Hmm.
movement.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of what I feel as discomfort. I mean, it can be also just you feel lack of stability in a certain area of your body, or it's just not moving
Yeah.
freely. Yeah, or a little bit of pain as well. So
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I mean, let's talk about pain. It's the
mm,
elephant in the room there.
yes,
Um, the thing is when you experience a little bit of pain
yep,
through a movement,
yep,
you do have to be aware of it,
yes,
and you also need to self-assess that as well.
mm,
Like, what is that? Like,
mm,
is it if it's overly sharp,
yep,
then you need to stop it.
yes,
If it's just something that's like a bit of a niggle and a bit of a
mm,
this is a bit weird, I don't like this.
yep,
9 times out of 10, what I've experienced is
yep,
it's because you're putting your body through a slightly bigger range or a
yes,
slightly different motion,
yep,
and that's why it's important to have a variety of motions as well. So this
mm,
is again why primal movement patterns are important,
yep,
because it's not just all sagittal plane.
yep,
We're going into twisting elements,
yes,
and we're going into those balancing things. We're working on the gait a lot more.
yep,
So, and when you start doing that, discomfort can occur in the form of mild pain.
mm,
Um, and I guess after a while, your assessment of that would be: is that really pain,
mm,
or is that just my body going, "Hey, I'm not confident with this"?
yeah,
And then over time, you get conditioned, and that's
yep,
how conditioning actually works.
yep,
It's like kind of training your strength.
yeah,
Like, that really sucks. I can't lift that
yep,
up. But the next time I give that a go, my body knows what I want to do. It's going to
yep,
start to work that range.
yep,
Am I going to get muscle discomfort as I start to work that range and start to do something different? Absolutely, I have
yep,
to. My body has to learn and adapt.
yep,
So it will adapt and it will get conditioned.
yep,
And the thing is, you just need to be super honest with so your coach and so on,
yep,
what kind of pain it is.
yep,
Can you handle it in a
yep,
way?
yep,
And typically, your body language would tell us quite
yeah,
a bit.
yeah,
But just making sure that it doesn't feel like it's going to be super detrimental to you.
yeah,
Yeah, and most people know that. You
yeah,
can trust
exactly.
most people know that.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I've experienced this with my ankle as well, with my Achilles tendon. And you know sometimes when I start running, I feel a little bit of discomfort and a little bit of pain in my Achilles, but I warm it up and it sort of goes away. I'm feeling good, I can do it.
Mm.
Now sometimes it can come back,
Yeah.
and I know if it sort of aches and it stays with me for throughout the day or whatever, then I'm like, oh, maybe I overdid it, and I know this is not sort of the outcome that I want.
Yeah, yeah,
But if you feel it, if it disappears, and then you feel it just a little bit again when you start moving, then it's kind of like a sign potentially of, okay, yeah, I am feeling this because I'm taking it through this motion. I just gonna need to get stronger
mm,
to get rid of this pain, right? So, yeah, so that's I guess a little bit of an assessment. You always need to find like, okay, is this a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort, or a little bit that we can push through just to make sure that we can do the movement to get us stronger, right?
yeah, yeah. Like, and I guess too, like it's just being aware of why a warm up is important.
Yes.
So, like a lot of people just go straight out and to do something,
Yeah.
and that'll be the first 2 or 5 minutes of that. That's
Mm.
that's tricky for people. That'll
Yep.
be where they like limp or get some discomfort, depending on the activity.
Yeah.
And it could just be you just need to be smarter
Yep.
about how you're going to warm up.
Yep.
Getting that blood flow into the areas that you are going to use is
Yeah.
one of the most important things. It's
Yep.
why we do the
Warm up.
warmer up.
Yeah.
It's kind of switching on your brain as well, like getting your mind and your body ready for
Yep.
activity. Hence why we do the gait activities with the contralaterals or the opposites.
Yep.
Doing that, getting that switch on happening.
Yep.
So I think for the most part, the warm up is vitally important when it comes to pain management or
Yep.
just managing that discomfort you may be experiencing.
Yeah.
And doing things like rolling your feet. So if you have like any kind of foot tension, or actually anything, because your feet, that's where the
everybody has it, right?
Yeah. So just getting the tension out of your feet. So I've got a little bit of saying, like, take the tension out before you put more tension in.
Yes.
So just addressing that sort of thing, because that will ultimately make you feel more comfortable through ranges as you move along through gaining ability in many things.
Yeah. What about, so obviously we talked about it a bit, what it is and all that, but in certain, let's say in certain examples, like, we've got a bit of knee pain.
Yep.
How do we sort of address that, let's say when we do lunges and things like that?
Yep.
How can we limit that? How much can we allow for us to feel of that discomfort? Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
So the knees are a fantastic little area of the body. They are loaded with these things called proprioceptors. So the moment there is a misalignment, either from the lower leg or from the upper leg, which can actually be transmitted from foot tension as well, then bang, you're going to get a nice little sharp little pain, which is ultimately going to be enough to make you go, oh, I'm going to stop that.
Yeah.
That's what proprioceptors do.
Yeah.
And often it is a bit of an overwhelm.
Yes.
They do that to just make you stop.
Yeah.
It's a pretty clever thing, really.
Yeah.
But when it comes to knee pain, in my experience, because I've experienced a lot with that, is take the tension out of your feet.
Yeah.
Mobe up your ankles.
Yep.
Get that sort of stuff sorted. Assess any kind of, like, if you're rubbing your legs up and down, especially your lower leg, assess any points of that leg that might actually be really tight or sore or very tender, and then just giving that like a gentle rub often can be very, very helpful, like unbelievably helpful for knee pain. And then when it comes to the actual activity itself, it's just like the worst thing you can do is stop. So if you stop, if you do nothing, you get nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so you've got your little lunge pattern, get some support in the form of either broomsticks or TRX or something to hang on or to hold on to, and then just slowly, progressively get your knee bending in more and more range. Yeah. Because the reality is, like, your knee is going to bend up like that. Yeah. That's how much it can bend. Yeah. That's only a little bit. Yeah. So if you're putting a little bit of load on that, so it's different when there's no load on it. Yeah. But that's where you're getting that little bit of pain. Yeah. Oops, that was a bit much. Yeah. Then, we just have to just be smart about it. Yeah. Work what ranges we can. Use the support that we need. Exactly. But don't get too comfortable either. Yeah. Because if it's just, I've got this support, so I can get my knee all the way to the ground. Great, let's get rid of one of those supports. Yeah. And slowly get it to the point where you can do it on your own. Yeah, exactly. I like what you touched there on is, like, first of all, we can, obviously we can limit the range. So don't go as low, let's say, while bending the knee in that lunge. So that we can do that. Then we can also add a bit of support to take a little bit of weight off, so we can make sure. And where you want to get yourself to is to the point where, okay, I can do this, and maybe there's a little bit of discomfort, because you always, again, we're talking about challenging the body, so the body can respond to that. Yeah. So a little bit of discomfort is okay, but not too much, of course. And then every time you get comfortable with it, just take a little bit of support off, or get a little bit deeper, and that's how we progress it forward, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it's quite an interesting thing, because I'd like to just touch on that saying, no pain, no gain. It's really overdone. Yeah. Because I think it should be addressed into much greater complexity. Yeah. Because no pain, no gain, that kind of makes sense. But it's more like no discomfort. So if you've got no discomfort through something you're doing, then you're going to stay in this nice little comfortable spot. So you might be quite comfortable just sitting in the chair. You're not getting any discomfort. That's your comfortable spot. But the reality is, you're going to slowly break down if you just stay sitting in that chair. We all know what that's like. You come out, like, you've been sitting in the chair, like, so we do have to appreciate no pain, no gain to a point. We also need to manage the amount of discomfort we are willing to go through. And we kind of have to tell ourselves to allow ourselves to, like, right, we're going to just push that a little bit more.
Mm.
And the other side of that little statement too is like the no pain, no gain thing is if we go just a little bit over, a little bit of discomfort that is going to be beneficial to us, we're going to put ourselves into a stress state, and it'll be like kind of exercising too hard.
Yep.
We're going to put cortisol levels up.
Yep.
We're going to basically increase inflammation.
Yep.
And when your body's in any kind of state of inflammation, you're not going to get the gains from the exercise.
Yep.
You're not going to get the fat burn that you want.
Yep.
You're not going to get the weight loss that you want.
Yep.
So we have to really manage what no pain, no gain means,
yep.
what you're willing to go through, and just what kind of stress or how much stress your body is able to take through your conditioning. So it gets, what I mean, it does get quite complex.
Yep.
But if you want to improve, you need to be okay with going through a little bit of discomfort.
Yeah. But
at the same time, too much is too much.
Yep, exactly. Awesome.
Is it? It's a bit complex, sorry guys.
It's an interesting topic, that one.
It is, but I think people need to know.
Yeah.
Because you have to be prepared to go through a bit of discomfort.
Yeah.
But as you've seen probably with, and I've seen a lot of it, it's like people wrapping themselves up. They want to continue doing the sport that they love doing. So they're wrapping up their elbows or their knees, or they're putting on a belt, neck braces, whatever, so they can continue doing the sport they want to do.
Yep.
But they're in pain.
Yep.
And the thing is, they are never going to heal in a state of inflammation like that.
Yep.
So they're going to have to put on heavier bandages, heavier things, to the point where the body goes like, nah, man, I'm going to take out your back. I'm going to stop you. This is bullshit. So we have to kind of really appreciate how far you can go, but also not be, just like sitting in a chair waiting for life to go by.
It's like everything, finding that balance between, being comfortable and getting out of the comfort zone, or being comfortable and being in a lot of pain. You got to find that balance as with everything.
I think like if we allow ourselves to be honest with ourselves as humans, because we're animals. We kind of like a challenge. We're wired for it. So when you have a challenge, and you like, there's a bit of exhilaration there. Oh, that was a bit freaky. The endorphins respond, and you might get a little bit of adrenal cortex coming, depending on what it is as well. But the challenge is what excites you. The challenge is also what puts you into that realm where you may experience a bit of pain. But that's the part that you've got to manage, that consequence of that sort of challenge. And what we're building in with primal movement patterns is slowly increasing that challenge. And before you know it, you've got a bunch of very capable people that know what to do with their amazing human bodies.
Increasing the capacity to do more things.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's exciting stuff. It's an amazing thing, this human body.
It is, 100%.